Hi, can we sit? I would like to be able to sit. You know me, I like to sit. All right, here we go. We got other birds incoming. I think you can see them. It's always so sunny out here. It's a little difficult to tell. Oh, you trembling a little bit? You excited? Oh, you're gonna go for the screen. You're a monster. I'm gonna take that and just give you my hand. How's that? Oh, Storm's standing on my foot, which tickles. We got a trembler over here too. We all may be extra excited because yesterday we got safflower seeds, and we all love those so much. I looked into like, you know, camcorders last night for sharpness purposes, but honestly it seems like a thing that really screws up the sharpness of my videos is it's actually YouTube's compression, and not really the resolution itself. But on my rear video, not this one, I didn't change the settings for this one. I increased the resolution, so it should be better. How come you always leave once I sit? Don't stop that. Stop it. Stop it. Ah. Stop it. Come here, Newt. Come here. I don't have any seed, but you can come up. Yes, hello. Sorry if he's out of frame. I'm doing this without looking. That's the hardest part about doing the vertical cam stuff. He's nobody ever stays. I'll just film off time like this for a little bit. Hi, Taako. 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 I don't think my birds know their names. Taako. Hey. 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 Yes, I touched you. Punishment. I just want to get your attention. I just want to get your attention. Okay, ow. Ow. You're a little violent sometimes. Or over enthusiastic at the very least. I think Taako believes in a swift corporal punishment for actions that are not permitted, like sticking my hand in her nest or touching her. She says, you know better. She says, you know the rules. And I do know the rules. It's just sometimes I have to grab you. I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to give you vaccines again this year. I know you don't like it. Nobody does. I stabbed myself with a needle last year. It sucked. The caps on the needles that Foy's sell are incredibly tight. And getting them off is dangerous in and of itself. I took off. I was trying to get the cap off like a needle after my mom had tried and failed, and I managed to yank it off, but then I shoved my thumb right back down onto the needle, which, as you can imagine, is not a great experience, especially if you are like me and you hate needles. I'm actually quite lucky. My mother, in addition to once being a zookeeper, was a vet assistant. So she, is well practiced with needles. And she's the one who does the vaccines. I just hold the birds. Because, you know, trying to do both would be very difficult, I imagine. I don't know if Danielle Ramsey does it by herself. I've actually watched her video because, like, we figured out how to do it, like, without needing to watch that video, I think. I think we were shown the spot on a picture, and it's I can't imagine doing it by myself. It's like you have to keep the bird so still, and then you got to make sure you haven't hit a vein, so you've got to pull back on the syringe a little bit to make sure no blood comes out, and then you can inject. And first you've got to rub it all down with rubbing alcohol. It's like a spot like right between their shoulders, like where they where it I know I'm just getting my hair out right where it meets their neck. I don't know if there's any other like approved places to vaccinate. And you know, thankfully I don't have to do it that often because my birds are so isolated, and I think it's only necessary to do boosters if you're bringing in new birds. Like Danny does boosters every year for her birds, but as she's pointed out, she's a rescue also, so she's bringing in birds carrying who knows what. It's probably very important that her birds get a booster. Did you just pick at my eye? What was that? Unlike my birds, which you know, I have never ever seen a pigeon out here that's not mine, you know, in here. You know, we get mourning doves, but they don't even really come to the back of the house. Most of the wild birds go to the front of the house where the bird feeders are. We only have a hummingbird feeder in the back. I mean, we've had mourning doves land on the back deck, but like, it's rare, and they don't really come near the loft. I don't even really think that the pigeons and the mourning doves even clock each other, let alone go near each other. So, you know, in a situation like mine, I'm only gonna vaccinate with boosters when I thanks, it's in my face, when I know a new bird is coming in, and when I get new birds, so that they have at least a baseline protection. Can I sit? Like, I vaccinated the tipplers when I moved them out here because, you know, they're outside now, so, you know, there is somewhat of an exposure risk, but it's just, it's not high, I don't think. I think it's very low. Huh. What are you doing? So yeah, if you're a rescue and you're getting in birds all the time, or you don't know where they've been or what they've got, I'd say yearly boosters are a great idea. But you're just a small loft like me who rarely even sees other columbids, let alone ever a pigeon. And you're not bringing in strange birds from strange places. I think vaccinating maybe every 3 or 4 years is more reasonable, if even that. I honestly don't know how much I'm gonna vaccinate. Once I've got where are you? Once I've got all the birds that I'm gonna get. Why do you punish me for like small things? I can't see her. So like I hope you can see what's going on. Here, what if I do this? Yeah, there she is. Ow. What's that about? You're being kind of mean today. Oop. I would vaccinate, babies I send out, but you can only start vaccinating once they're 6 weeks old, and then you have to wait 3 weeks to vaccinate again. So not only would the cost effectiveness of purchasing, a vial of vaccine that you can only keep so long, kind of suck, but I couldn't even give them their second shot before they went to their new home, because I keep until 8 weeks, not 9 weeks. But most of my birds are going to indoor homes, where I'd say PMV and paratyphoid are at extremely low risk. And if you've got your own loft of birds, then you should really probably look into vaccinating them yourself, or find a vet who will do it for you. But I don't know how many vets are well versed in that, because pigeons are not exactly a common pet, at least not on the East Coast of the United States. I hear in California the standards of care are much better for pigeons, probably because they don't have the established feral populations in the cities like they do here. I think if you have an established feral population, you get people who are like, well, they're just city rats, They're just another nuisance animal that hangs out in the cities. So people have a bad perception of them here. But if they're a bird that's way more rare, or like you just don't see them, I think you're way more likely to view them as a potential pet. Like people don't like pet rats. Don't hit the stop button. My God. Like people don't like pet rats because they're considered a disease vector, which I have to be fair, they are, but probably not pet rats. And there's a lot of prejudice against pet rats. I think in a similar way to how there's a lot of prejudice against pet pigeons. People just don't get it. And the thing with pet pigeons is that they're, pigeons are domesticated. That's why we call them feral pigeons in the cities. Anything that's been designated feral was why are you being like this? Was once an animal that lived with humans. and escaped or was let loose. So, you know, feral hogs, domestic pigs, escaped, let loose, also adjusted to their environment way better than pigeons did. You know, feral pigeons are so unhealthy, you know? They live 3 to 5 years, if that. If something doesn't take them out sooner. They're all in terrible health. That's why their poop is so bad. I mean, you look at poop in a loft like this, and it's nothing like the poop you see in cities. Because the poop you see in cities is so devoid of any nutrients. It's mostly just urites, which is way more corrosive than just the brown nuggets. Could you guys wait to drink until I redo your water? You're not gonna wait, are you? But yeah, Danny, on her Tumblr, the Ramsey Loft, she has a really interesting post about the poop of feral pigeons and what it implies about their health, which is honestly a great way of telling people how ill-suited pigeons are for not being taken care of by people. Pigeons are really meant to be with us at this point. You know, we bred them that way. And we did it over thousands of years. So, that's hard to do, to undo in just a couple hundred years. Less even. There's some green poops. Oh, you're back? I was just gonna end head time. But if you're back, I won't. Yeah, even though pigeons in cities look robust and like meaty, a lot of that's probably feathers. Though I will definitely admit that ferals are generally a little smarter. And definitely can suppress diseases to a certain extent, probably with a little more umph than a truly domestic pigeon. But you know, ferals aren't undomesticated. They're just feral. They're not evolved back into rock doves. They're still pigeons. They're still God, what's the scientific name? It's like Columbia livia domesticus or something. And you know, they can crossbreed with rock doves in places like London, for instance, where rock doves do appear in the Marlene, can you handle that? Do appear in the more green places of the city, and they cross, and the rock doves pick up a little bit of Czech, because you know, Czech is from our domestic species at this point. You know, the African speckled pigeon gave it to them years and years and years ago. So I'm actually really curious about the intelligence of rock dove pigeon hybrids. I mean, obviously rock doves are a species of pigeon, but for our purposes, we're just going to call them rock doves so we can tell them apart. Unfortunately, I don't think there's been any studies on what the hybrids are like in terms of intelligence. I mean, we know pigeons are really smart, but did they get it from rock doves, or did they increase a little over the years, or did they dumb down over the years? You know, because usually domestic animals get stupider. It's their wild cousins that are often smarter, with some rare exceptions, I think. I may be generalizing, but you know, like I'd say the average border collie is probably smarter than a wolf, or at least, you know, the ancestor that dogs came from. I think it was like a different species of wolf than gray wolves. I don't think it was a gray wolf that we got dogs from. But you know, it's obvious that pigeons are smart. So, you know, are rock doves the same way? I don't know. Are they smarter? I don't know. Are rock dove feral hybrids more likely to venture closer to people? You know, I don't know. But I think it's all interesting to think about and question. And maybe with a little luck, we'll get more people interested in pigeons in the coming decades and find out more about them. Because you know, they're pretty fascinating, and they're such a good alternative bird for people who like birds but just don't want the simplicity of finches or sparrows, or but I guess I don't know if you can keep a sparrow anywhere. And the trouble and difficulty and enrichment needs of parrots. Like you know, some people are totally prepared to have a parrot, and that's, you know, it's up to them. But you know, we've got this domesticated species right here, and they don't scream, and they don't break finger bones or tear off parts of your fingers, or you know, rip up your furniture. It's a shame that so many avian vets are only specializing in parrots, and to the point of giving really bad advice to pigeon owners. Like, I've heard of pigeon owners being given advice by vets to feed pigeons what you would feed parrots, which is completely inappropriate for their anatomy and their diet and nutritional needs. I mean, like, pigeons are obviously just not well known, except in small circles. And if people want access to those small circles, they just kind of have to luck into them. Like, you have to go looking for them first, and then you have to just accidentally find the right ones. Like, there's so many pigeon keepers out there that are doing, like, really not great things with their birds. I mean, it's the same in the dog world. It's the same in the cat world. Like, everyone's got their breeders who go to extremes. Everyone's got their neglectful breeders. Everyone's got the owner who doesn't listen to nutritional advice and feeds them something completely inappropriate. I mean, you know, any problem you can find with any animal keeper, you can find with pigeon keepers. It's just, you know, no one's immune. But you know, it's great to find like-minded people who care about you know, having a good standard of care and basing it on a scientific approach. You know, if not based on data, based on long-term observation. and common sense, honestly. I mean, there's not a lot of studies done on the nutritional needs of pigeons, but we know that because they do not have a cecum, I think that's how you say it, as of any sort of substantial size, they just can't digest the things that chickens can. So feeding them like a chicken would just be pointless. So, you know, like giving your pigeon your veggies and fruit, what's the point? They can't eat it. Have you ever seen a pigeon eat a bug? No. Because they don't want, they can't digest bugs, and they don't want to eat bugs. It's not part of their diet. Which, again, comes back to the reason why feral pigeons are horrendously unhealthy. It's because all they have to eat is the trash that people leave behind in cities, which is mostly starchy, processed food, like you know, bread. You know, cooking grain into bread makes it easier for us to digest, but it makes it way harder for a pigeon to get nutritional value out of the grain. And you know, the fries they eat, you know, what are they getting out of that? It's potato. It's not exactly a seed. It's a root. You know, it's you know, they're getting like little glints of calories, but you know, I'd say most feral pigeons are just not in good shape. Which is part of why I have the opinion that we should really implement the I guess test that occurred in that one German town where they built lofts on top of buildings throughout the city, and fed the birds there and gave them hatching spots, but you know, nest boxes. But instead of letting the birds breed, they just practiced strict hatch control. And with feeding all these birds and giving them the optimal places to lay, it sucked a lot of birds out of the rest of the city. And, you know, eventually that city, if it continues this experiment, is not going to have feral populations anymore, because they're just going to die out. But, like, as humanely as you possibly can. Like, you know, a lot of cities want to control pigeons with, like, poison or other strange or dangerous methods, but you know, this is obviously a method that works, and it works well. And it would be great if we could, you know, humanely end the presence of ferals in cities, because I think they're not living good lives. You know, they die young. They're sick a lot. You see so many of them with ruined feet or legs from a string being brought into their nest, or just tangled around their foot for too long. You know, ferals are just in a really bad shape, generally speaking. Yeah, I somewhat firmly believe that all domestic pigeons should be you know, in domestic care if we could make that happen. I don't think it's an easy goal to achieve, considering how widespread they are, but you know, it'd be better to at least try at some point. Alright, well, this head video has gotten kind of long. I'm very hungry. So I'm gonna stop and go inside and put this all together and upload it and whatnot. Thanks for listening to me ramble about pigeons and all their different needs and whatnot. I guess I'll hit the babies one more time before I go. But until then, thank you for watching Head Time.